Hey guys, this was the Magic of Innovation 2018, and let me share with you what I take away from it. It began with handmade sweets from Vienna with the Magic of Innovation logo, and they don't only look good, but they also tasted good. This is the second pack, actually. I ate the first one, and this is from my neighbor. Maybe we cut this out.
No matter who you are, where you are, or which industry you work, we are all part of these changes.
Through that, they will be able to think that insurance is something more than just a fail-safe for when things go.
What I want to discuss with you is, on the one side, a little bit about what we have built over the last 3 years, but also on the other side, how we see the future of insurance. And I try to...
Let's define Insurtech, because most of us use that word, but I think that this is only one part of what we are looking for, and I prefer definitely insurance technologies.
At the moment we do not have anything to do yet with the insurance industry, but we're about to change that.
As an algorithm, if the pressure on the pipe is too big and it's a sign for a leakage, it shuts off automatically.
Exactly.
And I think this is like, somebody who ever had actually an accident with water in his house, it's like horrible, especially if you own it, and also bad for the insurance because it's very, very expensive. So yeah, that's why I was really excited that you guys are here.
So I listened to this. I'm scouting digital and tech trends around the world in order to bring it to you. And I've helped numerous companies to set up ecosystems of digital products and services and to increase their reach with attention hacking. I really liked that we had a pre-event. In the pre-event there we went with an old tram around the beautiful city of Vienna. In a beautiful sunny September day we met at the Schwedenplatz in the middle of the city. We had a historic tram from 1928 and a nice lady explaining us the historical sites of Vienna. So in a very relaxed atmosphere you enter the conference and you talk to people there in a very relaxing situation and environment. You talk to the people there, you get to know new ones, catch up with old friends, and so when you enter the conference you already have done some of your homework in a very relaxing and nice atmosphere, and well, Vienna has a lot of beautiful things to look at. My first big impression is that it seems that we have entered a new phase in the Insurtech and insurance relationship, because over the prior years you had a lot of participants at the market who shouted out disruption. On the other hand, you had incumbents making fun about the newbies on the block. And now we've seen not only a lot of talk about cooperation, co-creation and coexistence, but actually we have seen at the Magic of Innovation and behind the scenes also in talks heard a lot about use cases, about cooperation between Insurtech and incumbents, and it seems that there is an ecosystem building around certain incumbents who are actually doing something. I was also very honored to hold a panel about insurance, Insurtech, tech companies. We had Maurice Terborch from ASR, the third largest Dutch insurer. I'm really happy also to saw the Netherlands represented here in Vienna. We also had Mario Berger from Google present, who shared his view on how Google plans to behave in the Insurtech ecosystem, and it's far beyond from attacking as other tech companies like Amazon or Uber. Actually, Google is here thinking about becoming an enabler, not only in the ad space but also in the data analytics space. It really remains to be seen how that is going to play out. I was also happy to see Tibor Radnoti there from the Generali in Hungary, who shared his view from an incumbent, but also his special insights into the Eastern European market. And then we had one free spot there. So it was Erica's idea, the organizer of the Magic of Innovation and founder, I should say, and the inspirational heart behind it, to leave on the panels only one space left for people from the audience. And I think it's also a quite striking symbol for the magic of innovation as a conference, and that you can do that and invite anybody from the audience and ask the audience who would like to participate, and that you always got high quality remarks and high quality participants in the panel. I was really excited about it. In my panel, Ilya Kozolarpov participated, a founder of Socrates, one of the few Insurtech startups from Russia, and he shared his views on the matter. As 3 key takeaways from the panel, I have the following. First, we have a different situation in the insurance market. We have new market entrants who are not only observing but taking an active role here. And what we see is cautious trend, co-creation and coexisting becoming something that's not only talked about but something that's actually lived and be seen with a lot of use cases there. Second thing I learned is I personally believe that outcome of this, will it be really a peaceful co-creation, coexistence, or won't we see a disruptor, or will we see one side that becomes stronger than the other in the end, dominating and pushing the others aside? I don't know, this outcome is open, but I think it's an interesting situation, at least in this region. And the third thing I learned, and this is I take away a lot of times from insurance and finance conferences, since the days the first merchants met at Lloyd's in London, which is the foundation of the modern insurance industry, I think it's the most exciting times to be part of this industry and to be part of the change and to see what's coming here. The Magic of Innovation also had a startup pitch contest and prizes. I was impressed by a lot of startups. I found the ideas were more practical than in the other years. I was really excited about Banks, which is a multi-banking solution from a Code Camp, which is a subsidiary of the Nürnberger Insurance. And I think this is also shows that you have smaller players in the market who actually use the chances of digitalization and push things like that. Then I liked Fin Ambro. It was about workers' compensation or workers' benefit on a collective level. It was an interesting front-end and back-end solution there to make things easier there, to bring convenience to the worker who saves parts of his salary voluntarily for his pension. Links, which really laid emphasis on demand insurance, switch on and switch off. I thought that quite interesting, even though I'm not sure how the consequence is actually on the risk community and insured persons, because you actually include into the calculation of a tariff there are events when the risk is a little bit higher and the risk is a little bit lower, and I'm not sure if the difference between switching and on and off is actually so big. Nevertheless, what they showed was really interesting, and I'm also curious if they're able to do it in a convenient way so that the customer doesn't have to switch on and off all the time, but actually can, that there's some algorithm that does it conveniently for him. That would be cool, at least for me. Then we had the We group there. They said about themselves that their peer-to-peer model is quite inspired by others at the market, but they showed that, I had the impression by accident, built a community around their insurance brand in Belgium. And I think that community, and this is also something that Maurice Terborch on my panel said, community is, I think, something that goes beyond branding, that goes beyond brand recognition, that goes beyond attention hacking, what I'm talking about so often. But I think community is like the Champions League of building something together with your customers. And if We Group can achieve this, this is amazing. And for us all, it should be the inspiration to think about how can we build a community of fans around our companies. This does not only apply to insurance, but this actually applies to all companies.
Let's talk about the different waves of Insurtech movement. So the first wave, the insurance managers. The second wave was the spread from the interface to the customer to the whole value chain. And the third wave, currently very present, the full digital insurers emerging. And I see already the fourth wave coming to the insurance industry. It's all about ecosystems.
The major difference between fintech and insurtech is that the fintechs were able to take a lot of revenues away from the banks, example, payment, could do that on a light license, but took revenues based 1 point. So that's really more mature, more broader, and also the fintechs were able to deliver more results. Try to define what are the burning points, the pain points of your customer. If you don't have it and you don't know them, not be surprised that you can't sell.
Really set up a fantastic event here. If you compare it to other larger, very professional, great events, this is quite familiar here. You have some 200 participants. You can talk to everybody. You have the big names here. You still have a very small location, so you can and you will meet everybody, and that's really inspiring and fun, and it's efficient.
This is my aim. This is my goal. That to organize from the virtual world to be in a real world, to connect each other, because we are a people. We have to be interested for the other mindset. We have to learn from each other.
I was also blown away by the first keynote by Sandro Fortes, a successful sales agent from the UK, who shared his view on success, on what to do. And I think, guys, look at the YouTube, find this guy, have a look at it, what he has to say. It's really, really amazing. I really was blown away, and I think the whole audience was blown away, even though we were not cheered up yet because it was the first keynote. So he tried a lot of things on us, and we didn't really push. But in the end, I think there were a lot of voices that were very thankful for his keynote. I think to summarize the magic of innovation, I use the words of actually several participants who I talked to, who said, well, this is an insurance conference where you actually have fun, where you dance, and I think that says everything, I think, because our industry is not famous for that. I hope to be here next year too. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a great place. I learned a lot about the state of the industry, and I hope you enjoyed this little video too.
Hey guys, it would help us a lot if you could hit the subscribe button down there, and to make us also grow here on YouTube. Thank you very much.